GameRanks presents 20 of the most anticipated RPGs coming in 2016. We got a lot of games to talk about, so let's get right into it, starting off with number 20. Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen is an expansion and re-release of Dragon's Dogma containing all the original content, plus new quest lines, a new region, the Bitter Black Isle, and the original DLC content. So you're getting a lot of stuff on top of new upgrades, monsters, weapons, and armor. Yes, Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen has been a thing before, but now that we're getting this full release on PC, we're still really excited about it because Dragon's Dogma in general is just such a good game. And at number 19, we have Horizon Zero Dawn, the upcoming PlayStation 4 game developed by Guerrilla Games. This is more of an action RPG, but we're excited because it just looks so unique and absolutely gorgeous. The concept of a very primitive character fighting off futuristic robots that are now just natural wildlife is super cool. Horizon Zero Dawn is a completely single-player focused game. It's not going to have any multiplayer, it's just going to be a big open-world action RPG. The combat looks cool, the traps look cool, and it looks like you have to use your head and actually hunt these creatures, so we're all about it. And at number 18, we have Fire Emblem Fates releasing for the Nintendo 3DS. This is a tactical RPG in the long-running series. This is actually the 14th main Fire Emblem game ever. Fans of this series have been enjoying the game since it's been released in Japan. Apparently it's really awesome, and the English localization is releasing in February, and we're really excited. And at number 17, we have Nier Automata. This is a spiritual successor Nier game with more action-focused gameplay. And judging from what Platinum has showed off so far, this game looks really promising. It looks absolutely gorgeous, very unique, and just kind of compelling. I hate to overuse that word, but that's just the only thing I can think of when I see this. The gameplay looks chaotic, the characters look cool. What more do you want? And at number 16, we have Mount & Blade 2, Bannerlord. The Mount & Blade games are medieval action role-playing games, and they are very unique, but they have a huge cult following. People absolutely love these games, and Bannerlord is definitely no slouch. Bannerlord was actually announced in 2012, and this one takes place 200 years before Mount & Blade Warband. This time around, developer Tailworlds Entertainment is apparently stepping up AI, graphical design, and expanding to different tactics and gameplay. If you've never played a Mount & Blade game, they're pretty cool and can be pretty complex and a lot of fun. So in 2016, maybe Bannerlord is your time to jump in. And at number 15, we have Bravely Second releasing for the Nintendo 3DS. It's a JRPG and a sequel to, you guessed it, Bravely Default. This time around, the gameplay remains mostly the same with some slight changes, including Agnes serving as a new party navigation guide, building a different type of village, this time on a moon, and a revamped version of side quests. The game takes place 2 years after Bravely Default and features 4 new main protagonists. And at number 14, we have Kingdom Come Deliverance, being developed by Warhorse Studios. This is an action RPG releasing for all the major consoles. This is a medieval-style RPG relying heavily on historical accuracy and realism. The game actually has period-accurate armor, clothing, techniques, weapons, tactics, and everything. You can be a knight, some other type of warrior, a bard, a thief, an archer, or anything you really want. This game is so realistic that you walk around, you talk to people, you have a very limited time to answer dialogue choices, and you actually have to eat to stay alive. So yeah, it's one of those types of games. It's very deep, it's very open-ended, and you're gonna spend a lot of time in it if you like it. So in 2016, you could be exploring the Kingdom of Bohemia in Kingdom Come Deliverance. And at number 13, we have Lost Ark. Lost Ark is a Korean-made action RPG that is kind of a Diablo clone. That being said, that usually isn't a bad thing because Diablo is really good and we always want more of that style of game, don't we? At the time of making this video, we still don't know a lot about Lost Ark, but we know it runs on Unreal Engine 4, there's minigames, there's quests, there's puzzles, there's combat, there's music sheets, and all kinds of weird stuff. We are keeping our eye out on it, and maybe you should too. And at number 12, we have the Technomancer. This is being developed by the studio Spiders, the guys who made Mars Warlogs. Yeah, you remember that one? Some people do. This is a sci-fi action RPG with different combat styles, and players can make their own weapons and armor. The style and the main character and stuff and the trailer actually make it seem kinda cool, despite the studio's pedigree being a little shaky. We put it on this list because, hey, maybe it's worth trying. And at number 11, we have Pillars of Eternity, The White March Part 2. The White March Part 2 is Pillars of Eternity's second DLC expansion. In the already awesome Pillars of Eternity, this time around you get a new companion, the level cap goes above 14, and there's a new mode where you can play through and just experience the story, if that's what you're into. That being said, the Pillars of Eternity gameplay and challenge is really good and will hook you in, and we recommend not skipping that. So whether you've been playing Pillars of Eternity since back before it released, or if you're just hopping into it, you have something more to look forward to coming from the game this year in 2016. And at number 10, we have Albion Online, a medieval fantasy MMORPG being developed by Sandbox Interactive. Albion Online is an MMORPG, but it's a top-down, more tactical-focused game. There's guilds, questing, crafting, the ability to conquer different territories, and an entirely player-driven economy. Most everything in the game, including the buildings, items, and weapons, are built by players, so that could be pretty interesting. The game has been in beta for a while, but 2016 sees the big release. And at number 9, we have Divinity: Original Sin 2, the sequel to 2014's Original Sin. Once again, Larian Studios took to Kickstarter, and this game was fully funded at over $2 million. I've never actually met anyone out in the real world who's played Divinity: Original Sin, but on the internet, people can't get enough of this game. So it really made sense for Larian Studios to fast-track a sequel, after the success of it also releasing on console last year. The Divinity: Original Sin games are just big, beefy, top-down RPGs with a ton of depth and a ton of areas to explore. Divinity: Original Sin 2 is shooting for a PC release in 2016. And at number 8, we have Persona 5. Persona 5 is the newest JRPG from Atlus in the famed series that so many people love. It's releasing for PS3 and PS4 in Japan and North America in 2016. In Persona 5, you live out a year in the life of a high school boy who gains the ability to actually summon facets of his psyche, known as personas. The Persona games are very weird. One part JRPG, one part The Sims, and one part soap opera, and most importantly, all the characters are really memorable and cool. They've been working on Persona 5 for a really long time, and people have been foaming at the mouth for it ever since there were even rumblings of this game releasing. In the Persona games, there's a lot to keep you busy, so if you're looking for a big old JRPG, this is gonna be right up your alley. And at number 7, we have Dark Souls 3. From Software has really been firing on all cylinders the past few years with Bloodborne, and now Dark Souls 3 right behind it. The game closely follows the design of Dark Souls 2, this time around with new weapons like short bows, larger great swords, and dual-wielding swords. Like Demon Souls, the magic meter is back this time around, and you already know the game is going to feature a ton of different new and exciting and extremely difficult enemies. Not to mention the fact that this is easily the most gorgeous Souls game ever. Judging from the trailer, the environment, character, and just overall visual design, it just really has been stepped up, and we're really excited to see this game in action. And at number 6, we have the Banner Saga 2, a game that we thought we were going to get to squeeze in 2015, but was pushed to 2016. Yo, the Banner Saga games are the real deal, with incredible, awesome animation, a story you actually are going to care about, and really good gameplay that can be quite a challenge. The Banner Saga 2 picks up after the last game, and the choices you made in the original Banner Saga actually tie over to this game. You'll notice characters that you chose to live and die actually survive or are dead in this game. This time around, the narrative has even more player choice, new characters, a new race, and more in-depth battle strategy and management. And I gotta reiterate, the look of these Banner Saga games are just so cool, just seeing it all unfold, and the story. I really hope Banner Saga 2 lives up, because the original was awesome. And at number 5, we have Torment: Tides of Numenera. Torment is actually the spiritual successor to 1999's Planescape Torment. This is a big old gorgeous isometric RPG that was successfully kickstarted in 2013 with over $4 million pledged. I know, it's crazy. This game is going to be totally story-driven, with 2.5D isometric gameplay and battles designed after tabletop game-playing rules. As story-focused as the game is, the player will be able to choose their own main character. This game has been in conception since about 2007, and there's a lot of hype behind this. Fans of Planescape Torment are totally foaming at the mouth for this one, and we are too. And at number 4, we have Deus Ex: Mankind Divided. Once again, we get to play as the super cool Adam Jensen in a new situation, a new environment, and with a new job. This time around, things are more dire than ever, with an almost seemingly civil war erupting between humans and people using robotic augments. This time around, Square Enix is really doubling down on the gameplay variety. Not only are issues from Human Revolution fixed, but this time around the game is bigger, there's more depth to the world, and the gameplay options are almost seemingly limitless. The amount of augments you use are doubled, and every single gameplay scenario can be completely unique. We're really excited for this game. And at number 3, we have The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine expansion pack. CD Projekt Red has actually been talking up some really awesome changes and features this time around with this new expansion. And I gotta say, the last expansion, Hearts of Stone, was really good, with some stuff that was almost better than the main game. This expansion is gonna have a bunch of new changes based on community feedback, new features, new places, new story, new characters, and about a 20-hour story. We picked The Witcher 3 as our game of the year in 2015, and we're really excited to play more of it. And at number 2, we have Final Fantasy 15. Holy shit. Is this game Is this game really coming out? Is this really happening in 2016? It seems like it. We really hope so. Final Fantasy 15, for those of you that don't know, has had a huge, long, and notorious development cycle. First, it was a PS3 spin-off called Versus 13. Then eventually it finally came back revamped and slightly different, being labeled as Final Fantasy 15. This is an action role-playing Final Fantasy game with huge open worlds that can be explored via vehicles. In terms of Final Fantasy games, it plays a lot more like Kingdom Hearts and Type O, and we're all about that. Honestly, is this game gonna live up to the hype since it's been being worked on since 2006? We don't know, but we're still just really excited because of that. And at number 1, we have Mass Effect Andromeda. Yeah, alright, BioWare makes some damn good RPGs, and Mass Effect is no slouch. So if we can get the new one in 2016, which it seems likely, we are so pumped. Mass Effect Andromeda is apparently supposed to take place way after the events of the original trilogy, with a completely new playable male or female character. Mass Effect Andromeda isn't really being referred to as Mass Effect 4 in any way because it's going to be a completely new and different experience. And you know what? We're all about that. Whew, so guys, those are the big RPGs releasing in 2016. Which RPGs are you looking forward to playing the most this year? Listen, we gave you 20, so maybe list off 5 in the comments, the ones you're the most pumped about. If you did have a good time with this video and maybe learned about a new game releasing, click the like button because it helps us out a lot. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.